Hey y'all, I am recording an episode for Dark Girl Chronicles. I was originally gonna do something for Budget Beauty, but I was gonna live stream and I can't live stream just yet. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll do an episode for Dark Girl Chronicles because I am I haven't done it in a minute, and so I was like, I'll do it. It's fine. Um, so while I'm sitting here talking to y'all, I will do my makeup. Um, so y'all can see kind of how I do my makeup. I mean, you know how I do my makeup. Um, if you go over to Budget Beauty, so go over to Budget Beauty. You should be subscribed to me there anyway. So hey y'all, what's up? Not too much going on with me. Whew, I'm gonna do a little story time while I'm doing this makeup because we got a story time, and um, we got we got some things going on that have happened in the last couple of months. So I am sitting in my bedroom, and I got my little mirror and things set up. This is not my usual place where I do Budget Beauty. It is generally I have a whole nother section set up for that. So um that's why I usually do if I record for Dark Girl Chronicles, I'm in here. So um I will do it while I'm in here. So let's chat. So for those of you who are uninitiated, when I do my makeup, I start with primer first. And what I'm putting on and rubbing together in my hands is face primer. Because we put on primer in this house. So we do in fact put on primer in this house. I use face primer. I use eyeshadow primer. I also pin my hair back so that my hair doesn't get in the way. But apparently this one is in the way. So as I'm putting this on, our little chit chat. So last couple of months have been interesting. We're still alive. We have uh, gone through work, gotten stuff done with work. Um, I've gotten things done, um, and I have gotten things done at work and gotten things, a little bit better and a little bit easier to deal with. I don't even remember the last time I did a video. I have no idea. I don't remember. But I have started in charging my engagements at work. And I am getting the hang of in charging. This is going to be important in a minute. Why this is a whole thing. But I have started in charging on the division that I've been talking about I wanted to be in for the last 3 years. Well, I'm in a division now, and I am like leading a little bit. I've been learning how to lead, working with folks, with Big Boss, my mentor, and my other pseudo mentor. Um, they know that they're mentors, and they've been in the division that I've been in, that I'm in now. They've been in it for a long time, so um, and so y'all understand what's happening here as I'm putting this primer on my face, and it is giving me a ghastly white pall. I look kind of crazy with this on, but this sets the base for foundation and whatever face makeup you're gonna use. So yes, I look like a ghoul right now because this gives a white cast. This particular one gives a grayish white cast on my skin. Um, but it's fine because we're gonna cover it up with makeup anyway. So the brand that I'm using, and I will put a thing in the description for everything that I'm using so that if you care to want to try to use it, you could yourself. This is the Live Tinted Hue Guard. It has SPF in it. It is the 3-in-1 Mineral Sunscreen Moisturizer Primer. And I know y'all can't really see that, but that's what that says. Live Tinted. I like Live Tinted. It's good. I like their products. They're pretty good products. So anyway, so I've been teaching myself at the job and doing what I need to do to learn how to do from my mentors. And now I'm working with someone else, who has also been there a long time, but they're kind of letting me just go through and do setup work and learn how to do setup work and get that going and learn how to start things off and with my type of engagements and get that going. This is also this is eyeshadow primer. It's a base for your eyeshadow. It helps your eyeshadow last much longer, stay put when you put it on. This is the Essence Prime Like a Pro eyeshadow base, universal shade. And then all I do is just spread this across my eyelid, let it dry down, and then I can put eyeshadow on. Now, most eyeshadow primers have a like a little brush that goes in it, but some of them don't, and this one does not. So I use my finger to do. But this is to prep and get everything ready beforehand. So anyway, I've been learning, and this past summer, I was all up in it. I was all in it. I was leading and teaching, and while also learning by myself, learning how to do and get things in hand and give out assignments and review. That was the major part. I spent like a whole month. I would get up, I would go to work at like 7:30. I would review. I would do stuff. I would actually like prepare work papers, review other people's work, be at work for 8 hours, sometimes 7.5, sometimes 8, sometimes 9 hours. Get home, eat, review. For an entire month. I did so much review over a month period that it was just like, bro, I don't want to think about this again for another couple of weeks, for a good couple of weeks. And I didn't. So that was in August. That was all of August and most of September. So really like a month and a half. But it's really rewarding experience because I learned how to do. I did. I learned how to do. So, buddy. So also, hang on a second, y'all. I knew I was leaving something. Hang on a second. I will be right back. Okay, so, as I was saying, I went and got the one thing I needed. As I was saying, so, I've been teaching, learning, reviewing, doing all this stuff. We finally got through the engagement, and it was good. Boss man said I did a good job, and he was pleased with my work. So, in the course of doing all of this is where the story time comes in at. So, in the course of doing all of this, someone that I considered the work bestie was also doing work. Now, we in the same division. We doing the same type of work. Okay. And they doing the same type of work. So I'm sitting there like, okay. Let's get her going. We're gonna tear this up. We're gonna tear this thing up. We're gonna do this together. I'm learning, you learning, everybody learning in here. So we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it well. We're gonna do it together. Because this is what we've been talking about for the last, 2.5 years. This is what we've been talking about. Especially once we both learned that we wanted to be in the same division, doing the same thing. We're going to do this. We're going to do it together. You grab the turntables, I grab the mic. Okay, listen. I'm out here like, Hey, guy, listen, I learned some new stuff. This is the stuff I learned. Little did I know that work bestie was not, in fact, work bestie. Work bestie was super jealous and resentful of the fact that they were not being allowed to in charge, but I was. So work bestie was on a different team than me. Work bestie was over on another team with my future manager. Okay. Work bestie took it upon himself to sit up and talk about me to the work manager and to his other teammates. And I mean just talking about me, like straight up disparaging me. And said that, I mean, was out here giving running commentary about the fact that my bosses were coming to my desk constantly and answering my questions, and said I wasn't trying to understand what they were trying to teach me, and that I was out here being lazy and ignorant, basically. And I of course had no idea that any of this is being said, by the way. I had no idea, like none of it. It wasn't until a couple of months later, apparently this was being done the entire time, okay? It's important to note that the person that he was telling this to is another girl in our office who I am friendly with. And I like her a lot. Now, you don't see us talking a whole lot in the office. You don't. You don't see us talk a whole lot in the office, but we do. So your boy decides he gonna run out here. It's also important to note the context of why he was also talking to her. In addition to being on the same team with her, he had done running and started trying to cape up for her. I guess he called himself white knighting it up. Literally white knighting it up. And I guess he called himself, he was going to jump in and protect her. I said, oh, that's what we doing now? Oh, okay, all right. If that's what you want to do, be my guest. Ain't nobody in here care whether or not you out here defending her or not, because don't nobody take you seriously anyway, as I learned from other people in the office. See, that's going to be a point too in a minute. So he out here, I guess, white knighting it up, y'all. I mean, out here killing himself to make sure that, well, I just didn't like how she was being treated. And I'm like, the first thing I said was, but what you got to do with that? Like, that's between her and her manager. I didn't say that to him, but that was my first thought when he said this. I'm like, what that got to do with you though? But all right, you better be worried about you. And I did say that. I was like, okay, well, how's your work going? So then all of a sudden, oh, it's fine. Okay, all right. Is it though? Because as we found out later, it in fact was not fine. So it turns out he was running and had a problem with the manager that apparently friend had an issue with. They resolved their issue, which is also a moot point because the manager that she had the issue with, they solved the problem and then that manager left. So you just alienated yourself for no reason. All you had to do was chill. That didn't involve you at all. But all right. So this among several other things was super off-putting for everybody involved. Okay. So our friend, we're going to call her Jay. Our friend Jay said, absolutely not. I don't know why he decided to do all of this, but dude, he weird and he creepy and I don't like him. He's not a good person. And I was like, oh shit. Like, wait, hold on. What do you mean? Now, keep in mind, this whole time I'm defending him, okay? I'm defending him in the office because I'm like, hey, this is work bestie. Work bestie cool. Nah, he good. He good. He good for it, okay? He a weird dude, but he got, he's actually, he pretty decent. And I like him. I like him a lot. I vouching for him, okay? She said, nah, let me hip you to what's going on. Because apparently you did not know this. She showed me the text message. Yo, he put this shit in writing. He put it in writing. You know, he would have been cool if he had just said it and nobody else. It would have just been, oh, well, that's just Jay saying this. You ain't got no proof that he actually said. No, yo. He said it and he wrote it down in a text message. And she kept the receipts. So, while he was gone, gallivanting down to the beach with the missus, she showed me the text message. Because I said, and how this all blew up was, I said, oh, well, your boy be back at the end of the week. I said, well, how's it been with your boy been gone? It's been real quiet. Because when I tell y'all he was out here in her face all day, every day, that's also a point here. He stayed playing in this girl's face. He stayed playing in Jay's face. Every damn 5 minutes he up talking to her. He over at her desk. She like, you could, and I did note that she had this look on her face. One time I saw the look on her face, y'all, and it was like, he is over here yet again. Please save me. And I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. Let me back up. Did I intrude on something I wasn't supposed to get involved in? Because I ain't know what was happening. So I didn't get involved, but later on she told me, yes, he was constantly in her face, just yip-yapping, doing all this extra stuff, texting just walls of text. And so she said him. So when she said him, let me hip you to what's going on. She showed me the text. I said, because she said, oh, no, that ain't my boy. Oof, that ain't my boy. I was like, oh, shit. I'm sorry. I thought y'all was cool like that. No. So she shows me the text and she's like, listen, I know I just realized that you do not know what he has been doing. I'm gonna show you these text messages because you need to know that. You shouldn't be, that's not cool that he'll talk about you in a text message and then be in your face. And I'm like, and blowing up my text apparently. So, cause I would talk to him outside of work all the time. Y'all, it wasn't like, I was like, oh, you're my friend. And he's like, not really though. No, that's not the case here. That is literally not the case. That's not what happened. He was literally like, if you leave this job, or if Jay leaves this job, or if manager leaves this job, I don't think I would be at this job anymore. You guys, I think of you guys as friends. I'm like, okay, so that's a real funny way of showing. Because I could have sworn you sat up here and said we was friends, but then you did this. So, I read the text messages. And this is how I found out he was giving the running commentary. And, oh, here comes managers back at her desk yet again. And she's not even trying to get the material that they're trying to teach her. And apparently said to other people that he didn't understand why they were allowing me to train people, and I didn't know what I was doing either. And I'm like, hold on, bruh. Hold on, bruh. So, come to find out, they wasn't allowing him to train because there's several reasons. Chief among them, one, they don't take his ass seriously. Two, they know he lazy and he just doing everything but the actual job. Like, yo, he was out here pulling pranks in the office. And I'm like, and when he did it the first time, I was like, I don't think that's a good idea. Like, I was trying to be nice about it. And I was like, I don't think that's a good idea. I think that people are going to have a problem with this. I think they're going to have a problem with it. I don't think this is going to go over the way you want it to go over. I don't think this is going to end well, my guy. And sure enough, it did not go over very well because people was like, why would you do this? This is a job. We're here to do this work and go home and get paid. We're not here to pull pranks. So it turns out, so I'm reading through the text messages because we're going to revisit why all of this is going down. So, also too, for the eyes, so far I have used the Maybelline Color Tattoo 24-hour eye stick in the shade. This is a shimmer, but it's in the shade I Am Rare. It's a gold because I'm doing this to match my sweater. And I cut my crease. I did what is called cutting the crease. I cut my eyelid crease with this pencil. This is the Kiss New York. I'm sorry, Ruby Kiss's 24-hour eyeliner in the shade Metallic Gold. And as you can see, it matched my eye stuff perfectly. Okay. And I also gave myself what I like to refer to as a pinup line. This is the ColourPop BFF Crème Gel Liner in the shade Swerve. It is a black line, so it goes over my eyelashes, the bottom of my eyelid ends and where my lashes start. So, I tend to do this a lot. So, yeah, I do this a lot. And so it's pretty standard eye look for me. So what I'm now going to do is apply some topper eyeshadow to this. This is the Essence Makeup, the Art Gallery eyeshadow palette. And we are going to use this eyeshadow and eyeliner palette in the collection named Pop Art. I'm going to use probably this color right here. No, y'all can't really see that, but probably that color right there. Because it's a it's like a glitter. There's one underneath it too that I want to use. So, yeah. So when I tell y'all, I was just taken aback when I saw these text messages. So then I talked to the manager, my manager, but was at the time his manager. And I'm like, what the hell, guy? What is wrong with him? They were like, he has issues. He has a lot of issues. I was like, no shit. So they said he's very insecure. I was like, yeah, I can tell. So he pulled some pranks around the office and people were just like, this ain't cute. I was like, yeah, that did not go over well. Oh, well, I'm not going to do it anymore because, I got bad vibes. I didn't know if people were going to like it. I was like, I told you from the beginning that it was a bad idea and you did it anyway. That's what you get. But I didn't say that. I just went on about my business. And so, y'all, it turns out he was mad because while he was on his team, they told him he was the books guy. As in, you got to take a look at these general ledgers and pull out the relevant accounts that we probably gonna test. Yeah, that's gonna be your job. I was like, Oh, shit. They made him be the GL details guy? Oh. So now it comes into focus. He was mad because he took a look around, saw that Jay, who much younger than us, is out here killing it. Okay, Jay is killing it. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Jay is killing it. All right, Jay killing it on her team. Manager been there forever. Just passed super important CPA test. Okay, is a licensed CPA now. He looking around like, shit, what about me? What about you? You couldn't pass CPA, which there's no, listen, that's not even an indictment, because most people cannot, okay? It's not exactly the easiest thing to do. All right, and that's an understatement, okay? Because when I finally get started, I will detail the process of trying to learn and working on my CPA license, because I am going to eventually attempt it, okay? But right now, your girl ain't got time for all of that, and I'm not trying to stress myself to do that. So I'm not finna kill myself to go do it, but I respect the struggle. I respect those who try. So I'm not even indicting him for that. That's not even the issue. It's the fact that because you couldn't do it, you acting up and acting a fool because other people have. And you take a look around and you like, oh shit, well, he doesn't have CPA. She been here for a minute. What am I bringing to the table? Not a goddamn thing. You ain't bringing nothing to the table. And that probably would have been cool. Nobody would have said nothing about you if it wasn't for the fact that you was out here running your mouth. Nobody would have said a thing. Not a thing. They would have been like, nah, it's cool. Listen, he out here, that's hard. So child, they was cutting on him. I was back there in the corner like, drag him. Because what you're not gonna do is sit up here in my face and play in my face and act like I don't know that you out here talking shit about me because you thought I didn't know. So he goes gallivanting to the beach with the missus. So when I saw the text messages and he came back, I didn't say anything. I didn't say a word. It wasn't until he sends me a message. We in a meeting. Now, we in this meeting, and I'm trying to talk about the important shit that we got going on, such as at the time we were planning for the Christmas party. So I'm sitting up here like, I got to get this in hand. The boss man ain't here. And he said, make sure y'all talk about this at the meeting for the Christmas party and keep that rolling and get that going. And I said, okay, cool. I'll do it. So that's what I did. He out here trying to be cute in the meeting. And I'm like, no. No. You're not finna be cute in my face while I'm also trying to conduct this business of what I'm trying to do for this meeting. I'm trying to conduct meeting business. I ain't got time to fool with you. So he gonna talk to me after the meeting. And I'm like, I got to get this work done. Apparently, my ass need to be paying attention to the work. I don't need to be doing all this extra stuff. What you need to talk to me for? I didn't say that, but I was just like, apparently, I said to myself, well, apparently my dumb ass need to be focusing on the work. Because apparently I am just slow. I'm slow and an idiot. And I'm lazy. So I need to be paying more attention to my work than fooling with you, obviously. So he gonna send me a text message about 10, maybe about 20 minutes after that conversation. Talking about, I know that you barely spoke to me in the meeting the whole time, and I know this ain't got nothing to do with work. So you already know you fucked up. You know you fucked up. Let's go ahead and not pull punches. You already know you fucked up. So why you playing in my face? Because you already know what you did. And you already have an idea that I know what you did. But you want to confirm to see if I know. You want to make sure that you want to see if I know what you did. So I waited. I waited the whole day. I didn't reply to his text message. And I waited the whole day. And then I blessed him. Read him for filth. Okay? Read him for filth. Because what you are not going to do is sit up here and play in my face and make me look like an idiot defending your stupid ass when you shouldn't have been defended. Not only should you have not been defended because you didn't deserve it, but you're a pretty shitty person in general. Y'all, this is a person who is comfortable, okay, financially. They're very comfortable. In their own words, they're comfortable. And made the statement, not to me, but made the statement that homeless people were animals. They were the equivalent of animals. And I said, when I was told this was shortly before I confronted him via text message, because I wasn't bothering to say anything to him face to face because he ain't deserved that. You couldn't talk to me face to face, so why should I talk to you face to face? You was too busy trying to disparage me and make me look terrible via text. So nah, I'm not going to give you the courtesy. I'm not going to give you the courtesy of talking to you face to face. So anyway, no, he told somebody else that. He said that homeless people were the equivalent of animals. He actually said to me, he didn't see the point of Meals on Wheels, because Meals on Wheels, these people be taking advantage of the system. They be lazy and they be taking advantage of the system. And I was just looking at him like, and I said, you so busy making that statement, you don't know who needs that service and who doesn't. He's like, well, I rode around and did the Meals on Wheels. I did the driving for it, so I could see who was getting it. That's not the fucking point. Shut the fuck up. Because your privilege is showing. And it's not a good look. It is definitely not a good look. So when I tell y'all, I just kind of made a face when he said that. Because see, I didn't even get into the fact that my mom, once upon a time, if y'all recall, once upon a time was considering using Meals on Wheels when I first got back to Columbia. Because I had to go out and get a job and make some money for myself to be able to survive once she was gone. And we knew that was fairly imminent, okay? Y'all know, y'all go back and watch the videos. But it was fairly obvious that pretty shortly I was going to have some type of job to take care of myself. I was going to have to do something. So that is why your girl went out and got a job. But in order for her to have something to eat, she was considering Meals on Wheels. And I was like, absolutely not. Ma'am, we will figure that out. No. That is a no. We will figure this out. I will find some way to make sure you have a meal before I walk out the door. Do you hear me? Something. It was when my work schedule switched to evenings with DHL. So I was like, listen, I will figure something out, but don't you dare. Absolutely not. You do not need that service. There's no reason why you should have to be considering that. No. She was like, well, I don't want to be a burden. I was like, absolutely not. I bet not hear that come out your mouth again. Do you hear me? You are never a burden. I don't care how much I have to sacrifice and how much I have to do. I'm taking care of you. No, absolutely not. No. So So I know I have personal experience with Meals on Wheels, and I know the kind of folks who are considering it, because at that point she was totally disabled. She couldn't leave the house. She couldn't drive. The woman couldn't take 5 steps to go to the bathroom without gasping for air like she was being suffocated. So yes, she needed Meals on Wheels. So for him to sit there and say that, y'all, I just, that is when he said a couple of other things that made me go, I'm side-eyeing you. But that was the turning point where I just kind of went, what kind of person actually are you? Because I don't like you. And I determined then, I was like, I don't think I like you. And then shortly after is when all this went down. For my eyelash primer, because I use mascara. For my eyelash primer, so I use primer before I put on mascara. This is the Essence Lash Princess Mascara Primer, extra length and volume. And as you can see, it appears to be white and turquoise blue. So what this does is it primes my lashes for mascara, which we are now going to apply. And sometimes I like to use one brand. Sometimes I like to use multiple brands. And in this case, we're going to use 2. One is the Sephora Size Up. This is Sephora Size Up volume and extra large mascara. And this is the L'Oreal Extensionist mascara. So what these do is they lengthen your lashes. They're both in the shade black. So I have black lashes. So what happens here is I put this on first, the primer first, and then we apply mascara. So y'all, when I tell y'all we're gonna use the Extensionist first and use L'Oreal first. When I tell y'all, I was just like, nah, that's gonna be a no. I don't think I like you at all. That did it for me. So then when I found out he was doing all this yip-yapping about me, I said, oh, okay. I see where this is going. This is going to be a no. So after I blessed him, and I said, I hope it was worth it. Alienating the only person in here who fucks with you. The only person. When I tell you ain't nobody else in that office fooling with him, ain't nobody else in that office is fooling with him. Not even the managers, because he was too busy yip-yapping about the damn managers. So, and they know he was talking about them. So, at least one of them. And I'm like, So I'm going to go ahead and let y'all in on a little secret too. The director, y'all know my favorite director, who I've been wanting to work under for the last almost 5 years. And y'all believe I've been at this job for almost 5 years. It'll be 5 years in July. The director that I've wanted to work under and who I now work under in his division know what the deal is and was not pleased to find out. I know for a fact he was not pleased. Like, what? It was, and when I talked to that director and I explained my side of things, I was like, when I tell you I was literally minding my business, minding my black ass business, trying to learn how to do this. You know, from the day I walked in the door until right now, I have wanted to do what I am doing right now. I'm just trying to learn how to do this so I can keep my job and do well with it, okay? And learn how to do it well enough so that people leave me alone. They give me the job and they tell me, all right, we know you're going to work magic with this. Go on and do it. That's all I want. I don't want to be involved in none of this foolishness. I ain't got time for this. And I said, I hate to tell them, and I meant what I said. I'm not working with him going forward. I will never work with him again. Don't put us on the same team. That's not a smart idea. Because that's not gonna end well. I go ahead and tell you now, that's not ending well. Somebody gonna get cussed out before the end of the day. On the first day, somebody getting cussed out. Just go ahead. And it probably won't be me. So I go ahead and tell you, he gonna get his feelings hurt on the first day. We can't be on the same team. We can't. You better give me completely different work to do. Give him work to do, and don't let the streams cross, because it's not gonna end well. Because I don't tolerate that fuckery. I don't appreciate that at all. Like, when I tell y'all I was minding my black ass business, I was like, what you mean he talking about me? Why is he talking about me? What are you talking about me for? Because he jealous and insecure and weird. And got the mentality of a high schooler. It literally is the equivalent of Mean Girls high schooler bullshit going on here. That's what this is. This reminds me of the movie Mean Girls. That's what this reminds me of. And I'm like, yeah, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, what are you doing? So I don't get him. There's something wrong with him. I'm also pretty sure he's autistic. I'm 100% sure that he's autistic now. I'm 100% sure. If I had any doubts before, nah, I'm pretty sure. And that's not to say that people with autism have are problematic and something wrong with them. In his particular case, there's something wrong with him. And a lot of it is social cues, not being able to read social cues and not being able to deal socially with his peers. And a lot of that is affected by and caused by the autism. And I'm just armchair diagnosing too. I'm not a doctor. Y'all know that. I'm an accountant. I am an accountant. I'm not a doctor. But I'm pretty sure that based on several other behaviors I've witnessed, several other things that have been said, autism is at play here. So, and I'm not surprised, again, given that I know his background. And see, that's the part we're going to get into now. So, over the course of probably 3 years, I've learned about him. Learned about his family, learned about his life experiences, his rationale on things. We spent a lot of time together at work. We talk to each other all the time outside of work. So, sharing memes back and forth. I mean, like, that's why I say this isn't like I was like, oh no, you're my friend, and he like, no, not really, but I'll let you think that. I don't know where you would have gotten that from. So yes, imagine my surprise that somebody who I think is my friend is saying all this crazy ass shit about me. Pretty meanly, I might add, and then had the nerve to smile in my face like he didn't do anything wrong. So it gets even better. So this I know. So let me go ahead. I'm going to put this out here on Front Street. And I don't care if he sees it or not. I don't care. Because somebody needs to tell you. So it's pretty obvious that the wife don't pay him no never mind. Okay? Let's be real. The wife don't pay him no never mind. At all. Okay? Every so often she might throw him a bone. Pay him some attention. You could tell when the wife would pay him some attention Because he ain't have time. Child, he ain't have time. But when she wasn't paying him attention, all in my face. I mean, just all in my face. That's why I'm like, I want to see how far this goes. And we saw how far it went. So now we're going to start on the face. And that's what I'm looking at my table here with my my tools and things. So you could tell though that when the wife chat all in the face, all in my face, and I'm like, sir, I didn't say it, but I was like, sir, your wife must not be home. The wife's not home. Oh, bless your heart. So this is the foundation we're going to use. So this is a tinted moisturizer. This is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Tinted Moisturizer. Okay. It's in the shade Dark 18W. It's matching my skin really well. And we're also going to put on concealer under the eyes, because what we're trying to do is block these spots here. And the hyperpigmentation here and here. There's over here, hyperpigmentation. Over here, hyperpigmentation right there. And see, I have it under my eyes. That's just from age. I'm getting older. So, what we do here is we take this. This is a palette. You can see it's been used. This is a palette, and you take the foundation, and I would shake it up beforehand, and then you squeeze it on this palette. And then what I'm going to do is take a brush and apply it, and then I'm going to blend it in so that it looks even across my skin. So, brush. This is the Real Techniques 250 brush. You can apply primer with it, but I like to apply my foundation with it. All right, and then I'm applying. So I have a mirror down here also that I use to see how I'm applying this instead of using camera while I'm talking to y'all. Anyway, so I'm like, I'm gonna see how far this goes. And sure enough, he thought ain't nobody know, but everybody knew that. Everybody knows that in that office. His wife don't pay him no never mind. And that's why he be doing all the bullshitting and carrying on. So it gets better. So when he got caught, he gonna say, he told manager, he was like, the only way she could have known any of this is if she saw some text messages. He was like, I can't believe she saw text messages. She showed her those text, that Jay showed me the text messages. And I'm like, you dumbass, maybe don't fucking write it down in a text message. Maybe don't fucking say it. That's even better. That's an even better take. I was like, hot take. Maybe don't say it. Because maybe you were trash for saying it. In the first place, you literally had, it was completely unprompted. It wasn't like I was like, oh no, friend, you trash, behind his back or to his face. Wasn't like I said any of that. I didn't. For the concealer, this is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer. This is in the shade Dark 170N. Now, what we do here when I do this is I apply it in different places. I put it underneath my eye, and I am careful not to layer the foundation and the concealer because it makes it cakey. Now, this looks crazy, like this is the wrong shade, but I promise this is going to be the right shade. Because what's happening here is I will blend these, and they go in They're going to blend together and give me an even foundation of skin tone. So that's what I'm doing here now, is blending her out. But you don't want to layer those two things together because it will make it very, 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 very cakey and look weird and textured on the skin, thus messing up whatever you were attempting to do with your skin. So anyway, yeah, I was like, hold on just a minute. Shut the front door. Maybe I shouldn't have said it in a text. And I'm like, you idiot. So, yeah, his dumb ass. So now nobody talking to him. Nobody's talking to him. I'm going to have to put some more foundation on because I am not getting this blended the way I want to. Yeah, nobody's talking to him whatsoever. And now they teaching him. And I said, you know what? I ought to go over there and be like, he sucks because he don't know how to answer that question. He's terrible because he don't know how to do. He's never done this before. Oh, I should probably make fun of him. You know how he did me. So, y'all, when I tell y'all, this fool, I was like, so I knew, once I realized what he had been doing, I was like, oh, this is not a surprise in the slightest. So, I just don't talk to him. Why? What did he talk to you for? Oh, and then when he got caught, like I say, he tripled down. He absolutely tripled down, y'all. Tripled down. Like, he didn't understand. Like, he was missing the whole forest. Like, he wasn't even at the forest. They done de-logged it in his mind. Because he was like, when he said, well, that was just malicious that she showed her those techniques. I'm like, so what you telling me is you tripling down. You don't think you've done anything wrong here. No, he didn't think he did anything wrong. He really didn't. He does not believe he has done anything wrong. I'm trying to cover this spot right here and it's not working. No, he doesn't think he did anything wrong. At all. He thinks he's in the right. Completely in the right. So as y'all can see, I'm applying this and blending it out. And it is, I did not have enough. And it is drying on my skin in the not places that I want it to dry. But yeah, he said he didn't understand when he didn't think he did anything wrong. I heard, oh, okay, all right. No, you did something wrong. You did something very wrong. And as a consequence, you don't have any friends here. So go ahead and quit. Because don't nobody want to deal with you. Nobody at this job wants to work with you. Nobody at this job wants to deal with you. They think you are a complete waste of space. Because you are, in fact, a waste of space. You don't bring anything to this job that someone else couldn't. And on top of that, you're two-faced. You're sneaky. And people think you're goofy as fuck. And nobody likes you. On top of the fact that your work is terrible. And you're a snob. Like, nobody likes you. Get out of here. Because nobody likes you. And I'm not that kind of person who bullies people. I'm not. I mind my business. Because it pays it pays exactly everything I need with exact change to mind my black ass business and stay out of folk business unless they invite me into it. And in this case, I got invited into this fuckery. But I mind my business and I don't bully people because I don't absolutely nothing to be gained from that. When I tell y'all this tinted moisturizer is not covering that spot on my skin over there, it's not. It's really not. And I still got to do this. Still got to do this. So this shade is really not particularly a great shade for me on my face. On my forehead, yes, but not necessarily my face. All right, now we're going to blend out this under eye. And this is a angled concealer brush that I'm using now to blend this out. And as you can see, it blends under and smooths it out. So what we're going to have to do, in order to do what we really should have been able to accomplish with foundation and all, I'm going to come back in with this concealer. So see, I have what is called a red undertone. So this is like a reddish orange. And it will blend in with my skin tone once it's blended down. That's why I say it looks crazy, but it's also brightening my under eye. So it looks like it doesn't match, and it wouldn't match, but it does. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take this concealer and we're going to put it on that spot that just absolutely would not blend the way it was supposed to. And then blend it out. Because this, I don't expect that to be covered entirely. It's just going to be there. But I do expect the other spots to be covered. Because that's like a raised, that spot that I don't expect is a raised spot. This is not. This is literally just my skin darkened in a spot. That Tinted moisturizer is extremely light coverage. It's not full coverage. What they call full coverage. So, okay. Better. That is much better. Now you can see a little bit. It shouldn't be. This should be the only spot that's kind of visible because it's a raised spot. This over here should be fully integrated and cool. All right. And that is why you invest in good concealer. And this is good concealer from them. But their tinted moisturizer, I have also their foundation, and their foundation is good. Their foundation is fine. I just wanted to use the tinted moisturizer today. All right. So we've done that part. Now we're going to do liquid blush, a cream contour. Now, what I have learned, and what you should learn as I'm teaching, liquids and creams go together. So you apply liquids with liquids, creams with liquids, creams with creams, powders with powder. Okay? So these are cream and liquid products. So we're going to apply them now, before I set my face with setting powder. So, all right. Also, I'm going to do my under eye because I did not, and I will. So, you also have a different type of brush to apply these creams and powders. So, for my cream contour, we're going to apply, this is the Essence Contouring Duo Stick in the shade Medium Tan. I'm sorry, just tan. Number 40, tan. And we're going to use the darker side because what we're doing when we contour is make shadows. So, you want to come down here under your jawline. And for me, under the apple cheeks. And draw a line. Like so. And then, same thing on the other side. Because I want it up underneath my apple cheek there. The apple of my cheek. All right. Then, some people do sculpt the jawline down here, but I got a fat face. It is what it is. I got a fat face. So then, we're going to blend it out. This is the More 530, M530. As you can see, it's been used. And then you blend it out. That's why you would do a cream with a cream here. And as you can see, it kind of gives you a shadow. If I could blend it correctly, it will give me a shadow. See? I did that right that time. I'm still learning how to do this, so that's why I'm excited whenever I get this right. So what we want to do is blend this out. So it looks like I got a little bit of extra cheekbone. I mean, I got high cheekbones anyway, so like my cheekbones are up about right here. So I got high cheekbones anyway. And I got them from my mammy, who got them from her mammy, who got them from her mammy. Okay. But that's about what it should be. So it looks like I got a little sculpted face. A little sculpted face. All right, and then we're going to do blush. Now, blush, this is the Juvia's Place liquid blush, blushed liquid blush. This is the shade Rosey Posey. All right, this is an extremely pigmented blush. Extremely pigmented. So we have to be very careful in how much we apply, where we apply it, and how we diffuse it down. Okay, so I'm going to put it on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to diffuse it on my face. Because it is extremely pigmented. Y'all gonna see what I'm saying in just a second. All right, so this is the Morphe 204 Cream and Liquid Blush Brush. So I have it on the back of my hand here in this one little spot. Watch how much blush I get out of this. As you can see, that's just from one spot, y'all. That's one spot. I'm also looking in a mirror, but also trying to look at the camera at the same time to show y'all this, so it gets a little confusing from time to time. But look at that. That's a diffused down dot. If I hadn't diffused that down, y'all would have been like, girl, that looks clownish. What is happening on your face? I know. So I've learned my lesson with Juvia's Place. I love Juvia's Place. Don't get me wrong. I do. I absolutely adore Juvia's Place. But it is very pigmented, and you have to be very careful. Now, for what it costs, I'm paying for that pigment. Okay. I'm not complaining. I'll never complain about it being too pigmented. Ever. Now, your blush placement you want to do up here. Above the contour. As you can see, I have blush on now. Now, I'm going to set with powder once I finish this. You can barely see it because in this shade, it barely shows up for me. Especially depending on what shade foundation I use. So, now that that's done, we're going to set with powder. And when I set with this powder, it's going to tamp everything down on my face. Set it. That's why it's called setting. So, for the setting powder, we're going to use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Loose Setting Powder. This in the shade Banana. Now, most of the time I don't use banana. I like to use a brown that matches me. But this banana actually acts like a translucent. So it'll keep the color. It won't make me look super crazy ashy. I have to still be careful. But also too, before I do that, I'm going to... Actually, I am not going to do that just yet. I'm going to set it first. So then I have... This is a pyramid puff from Juvia's place. I use this to do my setting. So what we like to do is, you unscrew it. It's got a bunch of, you can see there's a bunch of powder in there already. So what we do here is we take the pyramid puff. We pick it up on the pyramid puff. Take your hand and do this right here. See how I'm doing it? I'm rubbing it in and I'm diffusing it down. I'm doing what's called diffusing it. Diffusing this powder so it's not as much. And then I start setting it on my face like this. I just beat it into my face, basically. Which is why you hear people say they are beat to the gods. Because they have beat their face. So, also when we put on powder, we do not swipe. We do tamping. We do stamping down like this. You diffuse the powder into your face, not swipe it. Swiping does not do anything except mess up everything underneath it. That's why you don't want to swipe, because it will mess it up. All right. Trying to see, do I need to do any more? I think we got a good, decent amount of powder. I'm going to do my chin just a tad bit extra. And as you can see, face is now set. You can still kind of sort of see here a little bit of the blush, a little bit of the blush here, but not much. So that's why we're going to use powder blush. I have to use both. Your girl got to use both. Because when I powder my face down, I'm going to lose that liquid blush. Some of it, depending on what I use. Also, as you can see, my contour is still there. I did not take away the contour too much. But I did set it. So, I'm going to do powder now. Powder blush. And do my under eye. So, for the powder blush, this is the Ellen Tracy Make Me Blush Trio. Powder blush trio. This is actually pretty good. It was not expensive. It was like $4. And I was like, excuse me, Ellen Tracy? Ma'am, that's really nice. So, yeah, I like her. I like it a lot. This is the Morphe M164. And I'm just going to dip into this powder and then tap it on my face. I think I'm going to use this color today. Okay. And see, that adds the color back in the exact spot that I put the liquid. And see, I got a little bit of color right there. It's just enough. It's cute. I don't want it to be overwhelming, so it's fine. But yeah, no, so nobody in that office talks to him. Not at all. Manager who was his friend ain't his friend. Don't talk to him. Because why would you? He probably gonna talk about you anyway. Everybody know he probably gonna talk about him. Everybody in there know he done talked about him at some point. Yeah, he's terrible. So, yeah, that's really all that's been going on the last couple of months. Christmas came and went. Had a good Christmas. We went to family Christmas party, which I documented over on Budget Beauty, my Budget Beauty channel, where I did my makeup for the party, and I've been doing makeup. So that is literally all I have been doing for the last year or so. Makeup and working. I'm now doing my under eye here. But on Saturdays I do my full face of makeup. For Budget Beauty, I have a series for that. If I travel to buy makeup, I have a series for that too. My makeup purchases, I have a series for that. If I do a look and then I want to break it down, got a series for that too. And as you can see, I've done my under eye. Okay. Normally I don't use this for my under eye. I just use it for the over the eye, but this is cute. This is fine. I didn't grab a liquid eyeliner to do that with. All right. So now we got to talk about these lips. So my lips right now are being weird, and I don't know why. I tend to use a lip treatment at night now because I wear so much lipstick that my lips get destroyed, and so during the day, and so I like to take care of my lips. So we're gonna line the lips, and then we're going to put on some lipstick, and then I am going to set my face with a liquid setting spray. It's a multi-step process, and it generally takes me about an hour to do my makeup, depending on how fast I'm doing it. If I'm just sitting there doing my makeup and I'm not talking to somebody and having to stop and do it, I'm fine. It'll take me about 30 minutes. If like I'm recording here and my long form episodes, it takes me about an hour. So, and it's been about an hour. All right, so I'm lining my lips with this pencil. I like to refer to him as Mr. Soft Pencil Senior. He is a soft black pencil. He's cute. He real cute. I do not overline my lips. This is how my lips naturally are. I do a Cupid's bow up here at the top. I learned that from watching Violet Chachki. All right. As you can see, it's lined in black. So, now, for the lipstick, we're using Juvia's Place liquid lipsticks, velvety liquid lipsticks. They are, in fact, velvety. This is in the shade LuLu. This is a very comfortable lipstick. I love it. It is a beautiful, gorgeous, deep, like almost maroon red, but it's gorgeous and it is very comfortable on my lips. Okay. So, top lip done. bottom lip done. And she done. So, all right. This gives me my signature pinup look that I like. I really enjoy it. If I'm gonna do my makeup, this is how I'm probably gonna do it. I just change the colors. All right. For the setting spray, this is the Morph Continuous Prep and Set Mist. Now, you could use this. Technically, you could use this as a setting, as a setting spray and as a primer. I've used it as a primer once. It was okay. It was alright. But I really like using this for the setting spray. Yeah, if I could get the cap to go back on and stay on. Let's see if I can get this to go on here. Okay. Oh, it popped off. That's not good. That is not good. Hold on. That did not stay on there the way I wanted it to. Okay, hold on. Y'all see this top popped off. So, all right. Let's try that again. I wonder why this keeps popping off. I don't know why this keeps popping off. Because this keeps popping off, and I'm not sure why exactly, but all right. Anyway, shake her up. So I'm gonna set my face with this spray, and then I have to dry it down with a little fan, a little handheld fan. That takes a bit getting used to. I use the L'Oreal Infallible, and the L'Oreal Infallible is much stronger. It is like using hairspray on your face. But when I tell y'all that thing works, it works. There's a section here that did not get sprayed. Well, I thought it should. All right. That did not spray my face entirely. All right. So what I'm doing here is setting it by drying it down on my face. It smells pleasant. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like I say, nobody in there talked to him, so I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen. I personally am not going to talk to him. I have no need to talk to him whatsoever. Not interested at all. Cause what you gonna say? What can you say? That's why he ain't coming to apologize. And everybody know that's why he ain't apologized. He ain't apologized to Jay either. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not surprised by that either. I was like, so you tried to boost yourself up at my expense. Oh. Like my grandma used to say, oh. So, all right. This is the completed look. We likes to take our hair down before we do anything else and put earrings on. Okay. All right. So I'm not really planning to go anywhere today because I'm off today because it's a snow day. And so I'm not trying to go anywhere. Um, But your girl said she gonna do her makeup and then I'm gonna go eat me something. I'm not eating lunch yet. But put my earrings on. These are my popcorn buckets. I really like them. They are super adorable. They are slightly heavy. I tend to wear these with yellow and or gold things. Because they can go with either one color. And this is what the final completed look looks like when I do this here pinup makeup. So basically that's how I did my makeup for the gala for my father-in-law, which I think the last video I did we talked about the wedding, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the last thing, which there's nothing else happening on that front. Nothing else as far as I know has happened on that front. My husband has gotten past it, I guess, and I mean he made peace with the fact, like he know what the deal is. He know what it is and what it ain't. We saw them at Christmas because we went to the family Christmas party, and it was some foolishness as usual with father-in-law. That part. So very quickly, the coda to that foolishness was, so he gonna sit up there and say, stepmother-in-law gonna be like, oh well, y'all need to come over to the house. We want to see you before you leave. Okay, all right. All you got to do is ask. You ain't got to be jumped up about it, girl. You're doing too much. You're doing entirely too much. All you got to do is ask. So we went over there. Tell me why he's sitting up there the whole time. Just he on his phone. And I'm like, we're not coming up here to sit up in your house and watch you be on your phone. That's not happening. I told Brandon, I was like, all right, listen, we got to go. I got stuff I got to do back at the house. I was like, I got stuff I got to do at the house. I don't have time to be sitting up here looking at somebody on their phone. Like, no. The fuck out of here. I'm not doing that. I'm going home because I have stuff I need to do that does not involve sitting up here with you on your phone. So much for, and that's why I told him, I said, and that is why that pissed me off so much. When the three witches of Eastwick come running talking about, well, your dad is retiring and he's not going to be in Columbia that much, and you guys, we need to see more of you. And I'm sitting there looking like, the world worked both ways. The phone worked both ways. What are we doing? Why is it incumbent on the child? He gonna come up there as much as it allows, and as much as I have time to come up there. So, I don't, make no mistake, it ain't because they really want to see me. I'm not the main character here. Okay? I'm well aware I ain't the main character. But I am part of my husband's family. Okay? I am my husband's immediate family. So I'm like, I'm not, if I'm not available and we got something else going on, you just not gonna see us. Sorry we missed you, but I'm not going out of my way and killing myself to go hang around with somebody who literally act the way he do. So no. So when he was sitting up there on his phone, I looked at Brandon and I was like, you know we're gonna talk about this when we get in the car, right? And he was like, yeah, I know. We got in the car, I was like, Brandon, what was that? And he was like, I know. Like, what was that all about? I was like, child, them your people. I was like, them yo people. You need to figure out why they are like this, or not. You can also not figure it out. Like, it's not important. If you don't listen to me, you make space. You make space for people who make space for you. Okay? You make space for people who give a shit about you. You make space for people who allow you to be yourself, and they make space for you. Okay. And from what I gather, I think I think with the daddy, it's more about appearances. We got to appear to be a good father. We got to appear to care. Otherwise we don't really care. Because what do we care for? He grown now. And there ain't no consequences for him not caring at this point. So you see what I'm saying? Like it's like I told him that. I said, you do understand what I'm saying here. I'm like, there's a reason why it's half-hearted with you, but the daddy be going gallivanting around with the other two. There's a reason for that. And it was on full display at the wedding. I was like, I hope you learned from this and you saw what this was for what it was. Because I said, I hate when people have to make this realization about their parents. I do. I hate when people have to make that realization because it's not a good realization. Nobody wants to realize that their mama and daddy ain't shit. Okay? For one. And two, they don't want to realize that they are not a priority for their parent. And I told him, I said, I have been where you are right now. Okay? I've been there. Everybody gets there at a different point when they have to deal with parents like this. It ain't a good time. It hurts. And there's no other way to put that. There's no other way to call it what it is. It is what it is. But you have to learn to accept it for what it is. And call it what it is. And he's getting there. I think he's getting there, and I think having me having been through that before, he knows that if he needs help identifying it, he could come ask me. Now, I let him come to the realization on his own, because what we ain't gonna do is have nobody sitting up here talking about how I'm influencing my husband and making him think these things that are not true. I'm like, no, but we're gonna acknowledge what you're doing. Don't think that don't nobody know what you're doing and that there isn't a word for it. Don't think that because you've been allowed to slide before that we're going to allow you to slide now. Because I'm not going to allow you to slide now. Because you shouldn't have been sliding before. But I'm definitely not going to let you slide now. So when I sit up here and I see how you treat my husband and how you hurt my husband and you make him feel terrible and you have him sitting up there like, well, why he went to go see so-and-so, but he couldn't drive an hour and a half to come see me. My husband shouldn't be asking me that question. My husband shouldn't be asking me, well, why we always got to go up to Spartanburg to see? And I'm like, why is that? Why are we going up to Spartanburg to see all the time? Why are these people never calling and saying, hey, son, you going to be at the house? We coming through Columbia. You know, we come see you. Why is it that we always got to run up to Spartanburg? No, sir. But you can drive 2-3 hours to go see the other ones. Nope. You're not going to treat him differently and then tell him it's his fault that he's being treated differently. You're not doing that. You're not going to do that. So, I told him, I said, you are my husband and I'm going to protect you. That's what you have me here for. As part of my duties as your wife, I am here to protect you. I'm here to take care of you. I'm here to make sure that don't nobody fucks with you. Okay? And if they do, they got to come through me first. And I will tell you, they're not getting very far. So, listen, I told him the other day, I said, you do realize the Cerebus is still in the backyard, right? I was like, you going out there, pokey little puppy that you are, because when I was little, I read the Pokey Little Puppy, and I used to love the Pokey Little Puppy. Because puppy. But I was like, you going out there in the front yard and you play Pokey Little Puppy because That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be able to play in the front yard, and nobody's supposed to bother you. But if somebody come in the front yard that you don't know, you bark loud enough, I'll come out from the back. I'll come out from the back. They don't want to see the three-headed dog that's back there. Okay? They don't want to see the three-headed dog. And the three-headed dog is me. So, absolutely not. They don't want to see the three-headed dog. So, you bark loud enough, I will come out from back there. Let me come on out here and see what's going on. And see, when people see I come out from the backyard, they start backing up. They start, turning around the way they came in the front yard and go back and get in the car. Okay. It's nice to see you. That is, so, yeah. So, when all that went down at Christmas, and I said to him, we going home now. I done sat up in this house long enough. I done sat here and watched him be on his phone for the last 30 to 45 minutes. I got stuff I got to do at the house. You want me to be, I can make myself be the bad guy. Don't worry about that. I'll make myself be the bad guy. I got stuff I got to do at the house. So Brandon and I need to get on the road. We got to go. Oh, sorry you're leaving. So, okay. We'll see you in a couple of months. You're not going to, no. And I always ask him, do you want to go? You have a choice. Don't feel like you have to be obligated to go do. If you don't feel like doing, you don't feel like damn doing. If you want to, and I always tell him this, especially when dealing with his mama. If you don't want to go somewhere and you don't want to do something, and all you want to do is literally sit at the house, stare at the wall, and scratch your balls, guess what you can do? Stay at the house, stare at the walls, and scratch your balls. There's no law that says you got to go do something just because somebody asked you to. I'm like, sir, you are a people pleaser. And you know how I know? Because I was a people pleaser once upon a time. Because I came from a people pleaser who was raised by another people pleaser. So no, we are not going to do that. No. I was like, I'm going to teach you and you're going to learn. So, that said, yeah, Christmas was interesting. So we got a couple of events coming up that we're probably going to go to. Also, this is year 5 of us being married. So, we are doing something special. We're going to get dressed up and, we're going to take photos and, I'm probably going to do my makeup. I got a gold dress. That's why I am practicing this gold makeup. I have a gold dress that I bought in anticipation of sister-in-law's wedding. And I am maybe going to use that dress. I might order something else. I don't know. I have to see. So we'll see. But he is going to wear green. We're going to switch our wedding colors. He wore gold the last time, and an approximation of gold. Let's put it that way. He wore the gold, and I wore the green, as y'all saw in our wedding photos. Go watch the video from 5 years ago. But we are switching it for the 5th anniversary. So, we have that coming up in April, and I'm trying to think what else we got going on. Beetlejuice is coming in April around our anniversary, so we may go to that. And it was something else we had going on. Family friend is getting married. I think she's getting married in April. No, she's getting married in August. I think she's getting married in August. So, August of this year. So, waiting on the invitation and all of that. So, definitely we're looking forward to that too. She's a sweet girl, and I'm super happy for her. So we're waiting for that. So we got to figure out what the colors are and what she's asking for, if she's going to ask for anything. We talked to them at Christmas, and she told me, and she sent me her number. So I told her, I said, yeah, definitely send us the invitation and save the date, please. Because she had said, or she said, did Brandon tell you that we changed the date and we are getting married? And I was like, oh, y'all did what? Oh, okay. Well, now I need to get on the ball then. So I let her know. I was like, yeah, text me and let me know when you getting started and when you getting moving on things, and we will be there with bells and whistles on. You just tell me where I need to be, when I need to be, and what I need to wear. If you're requiring colors and that sort of thing, let me know and give me plenty of time to get us together, and we'll be there on theme and on brand like we're supposed to. So yeah, other than that, nothing else going on. It snowed here. We had a snowstorm here in Columbia, which is unusual. We haven't had one in a long time. We got about I think we got about 3 to 4 inches out there on the ground. It's melted today. Yesterday it started melting, and then of course overnight it refroze because it got down in the teens. Right now, according to my laptop here, it says it's 46 degrees. So that means it's melted, and it has melted off the house. It melted off my car. But the streets were kind of impassable this morning. They were still, there was a danger of black ice, and I wanted my husband to be very careful. And so I'm glad. Apparently he got to work on time and he was fine. But I told him, I was like, you better get up and you better drive slow, because because our county was shut down, county offices were shut down by the governor. That includes my office and things. And so I was off from work today, hence why I had time. So here we are. So, all right, I guess I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'll be back later. Hopefully it won't be, a whole year in between episodes again. We are in season 5 here. We're really supposed to be on, I don't even know what season we're supposed to really be on. I want to say season 12 at this point. So actually, no, I think we're supposed to be on season 14. So yeah. So let me try to do better and do a little bit more recording and do a little bit more talking about what's going on. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Come back and see me later. Go watch Budget Beauty. Go look up my channel, my secondary channel. My secondary channel is called Budget Beauty 2025. It's all one word. And I do makeup over there, and I do just content stuff about makeup, and I talk about makeup, and I do special series, and I go travel and just makeup. It's makeup in general. So go there, go look at it. Go subscribe, please. So I want to thank you for watching. Come back and watch me later, and I'll talk about life and everything else that's going on with me in my weird, very weird life. Deuces.